Jenna Bandy is easily one of my favorite Instagram follows. I dare I say I live vicariously through her. She's a lot of people's favorite follows. She's actually one of Sports Illustrated's top 10 social media stars. She's a sports content creator, internet personality, and she's living the dream. Like, Jenna, when I think of you, when I look at you, I see somebody like that old, you know that phrase, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. I feel like that's you. How would you describe your life and your career these days?
1,000%. I've said to people, if you took away social media, all the social platforms, I would still be doing the same stuff that I post. I'd still be outside shooting hoops, throwing the ball around, and living life like I am. So it's truly authentic to who I am.
So you and I met is a year ago around this time. The Rams had a celebrity football game. Why I got in, I have no idea. Maybe a bunch of people got hurt and they needed somebody to fill in. Although I did have a sack in that game. But so we're playing, and easily the best player on the field is this young lady who is like getting open on every route, got the best hands, probably should have been playing quarterback. I don't know if we won the game or not, but if we didn't, we would have if you'd have had the ball in your hands more. That's all I know. You fielded punts at halftime. It was just incredible to watch you. So I'd love to go back to the beginning before we get to all the things that you're doing right now. Like, when did you first fall in love with sports, and when did athletics start to become, I guess, easy to you? Because you certainly make it look easy.
Yeah, ever since I was a little girl, I'm one of four kids. I have a twin brother, and my family, they say that we switched brains in the womb because I took all the athleticism and coordination, and he's just very like artsy fartsy. He's a Spanish teacher, and so big bro, he turned out to be a Major League Baseball player. And I also
Yep.
have an older sister, but
Jet.
big bro, whenever he needed someone to play catch with or shoot hoops with, he would never ask little bro. He'd ask little sister. And
Yeah.
he taught me everything when it came to sports. And it wasn't just, teaching me how to crossover. It was teaching me how to crossover, but then also add the little head fake with it and wear the headband like this and wear the wristbands like this. He taught me the swag behind it, and I just fell in love. I was his shadow growing up. I did everything that he was doing, and he would never let me win. So this competitive spirit about me was just instilled in me since I was a little girl. The talking trash, that's
Hmm.
me, And so yeah, I played high school softball and basketball. I ended up playing college basketball. And I
Yep.
saw, my dream really was to be a professional athlete. And in an unconventional way, I am a professional athlete. I get paid
Yes.
to do athletics. And this week it might be pickleball, and next week it might be basketball, and then in a month from now it's football. So I get to pick and choose and not just be dedicated to one sport, which is honestly what I struggled with growing up. I didn't know which sport to play, and I hated that I had to choose which one in college. And now I get to play whatever one I pick that week.
I'm telling you, like day to day, it's like, what is Jenna up to today, and who is she up to it with? And your brother Jet has said you're the best athlete in the family, and you have quite an interesting family.
Wow.
And we'll get more into your family in a second. But you were a shooting guard, I believe, at Cal State Monterey Bay. You said your
Correct.
dream was to be a professional athlete. What made you have to go in a different direction for being a professional athlete?
Yeah, so I tore my ACL before my senior year in high school. So
Hmm.
that kind of made me a little discouraged, and I didn't my D1 offer said see you later, right? So I ended up
Hmm.
going Division 2. My third year at Division 2, I ended up tearing my other ACL. Mom and dad are looking at me like, "Jenna, you probably don't want to play overseas. You probably want to start thinking about other things than basketball after your college career." And I'm just like, this is maybe they're right. That's a hard truth to face. But
Yeah.
I recovered. I had surgery on both my knees. They're good. It's just the constant pounding and practicing. I couldn't be able I need to preserve my body. So right out of college, I studied communications and journalism and media studies. And everyone
Yep.
told me, Jenna, you could be the next Erin Andrews. And I was like, yeah, I guess I could. I could be on the sidelines and reporting on sports. I know sports. So I actually tried to pursue that right out of college. I going on interviews. I worked as an SB's runner. And like I'm getting people's coffees and I'm making copies, getting coffees and making copies, and I'm just around the ESPN crew. I worked the
Wait, what year
360.
was this?
This was 2015 and 2016. I worked the 360 cam on the red carpet for the ESPYs. I'm
I
telling Steph
probably
Curry,
saw you there.
you probably did. I'm telling all the athletes, all right, jump when the camera comes this way, and then it gets like
Yeah.
the image. It was sweet. I was like, oh, this is great. But I lived all the way in Thousand Oaks, mom and dad, and I'm commuting to LA to go on these interviews. And during that time, I'm trying to really think to myself, do I really want to be like in this industry and start super low and build and potentially live out of my suitcase? And I'm really a homebody. At that time, I was approached with the guy that I used to play at 24-Hour Fitness all the time. He's like, hey, I just took over the girls program at this high school, which is a rival high school of mine. And I'm looking to fill my coaching staff. And I'm like, I've never coached before. He's like, but you know basketball. And you were a high school girl before. And I need a girl on my staff, And I was like, all right, I'll come by. And I loved it. So I was like, do I choose the path of being, in media and being on camera and all that? Or do I go this way and I could be a role model and have an impact on these young ladies? So I went that way. And
Calabasas High School, right?
So at first I was just a JV head coach at Agora High School for 2 years. So 2015 to 2017, Agora High School JV coach. And then just like what you said, I got hungry. I was like, oh, I don't want to be a JV coach. I want my own program. I want to be a varsity coach. Got the head job at Calabasas High School. At that time, I had a little bit of a social media following. There was a trend and it was get you a girl who can do both. And it was post a split picture where this side of the picture, you're looking all dolled up and girly. And this side of the picture, you're sporty. So I had my hoop, I had my Jordans on, I had my headband on, I'm in a basketball uniform. And then here, I got my heels on, I'm looking cute. And that started to get a following. It started getting reposted as a meme. It was like, first she'll break your heart, then she'll break your ankles. It was pretty, right?
It's pretty good.
So when I was a coach, I was also substitute teaching. And these kids would be like, Jenna Bandy 21. And I'm like, no, it's coach or it's Miss Bandy. And I'm 20, 23, 24 as a head varsity coach. And these kids are 18, 17, like
they think they're your peers.
They're not that far. Exactly. So, like the respect was there from the kids, but as soon as playing time was an issue, man, did these parents just go in on your girl.
Yeah.
And I started to think about maybe high school isn't for me. Maybe college is. So I was a 2-year varsity high school girls coach. I was at Calabasas High School, and then I went to my high school alma mater, Thousand Oaks High School. And I was like, you know what? I think I might be just too young, and I have a lot of ammo against me, with the social media. But if I went to a college, like a junior college, I don't have to deal with parents. And I ended up being an assistant coach at Moore Park Junior College. The target was off my back. I'm an assistant. I could really just be more hands-on with the players and all the scheduling and managing and all that. That could be the head coach. And I was like, you know what? This might be my lane.
Yeah.
And I could do my social media stuff, right? But I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. If anyone asked me what I do for a living, oh, I'm a coach. But really, I was making a little bit more money on social media. But I hated the stigma that went with being an influencer. Yeah.
I have no idea what that's like because I would never consider myself an influencer. So what describe that stigma?
Yeah. So if you don't know me and you just meet me, and you take me for face value, and someone asks me, what do you do? And you say an influencer. I'm being judged. Oh, you're a girl, you're an influencer, you're one of those. You're probably just like selling your body or just kind of
Right.
like fake, the stigma, like really not talented. You're
Not a
just
lot of substance.
exactly. But then
Yeah.
once you actually look at my stuff, it's like, oh, this girl's actually created her own lane. She's
Yeah.
a tomboy, And so what ended up happening was COVID hit. And my team, my junior college team that I was coaching, was in the tournament. We're the number one seed. We're in the tournament. Boom, COVID hit. Got to stop coaching. Basketball's over. I was in my teaching
Mhm.
credential program. I was back in school getting my teaching credential. I saw the rest of my life as a teacher and a coach. Like I
Yeah.
saw it. And I
Yeah.
had one put in, with being a YouTuber and being an influencer, having my little discount code, like, like it was cool. It was a cool little flex. But like I said, I didn't take pride in it. But when COVID hit,
Mm.
what are you doing? I'm just chilling at home. But I had a select few trusted friends who we weren't going to bring COVID around. We're just with our family or we're with our little group and we're going to create videos
Mhm.
together. Right. And from then it was like, okay, well, let's just double down on what I'm already doing. And it was 2021. I was invited by House of Highlights. They had a showdown. It was they were doing showdowns with influencers. Their first showdown was golf. If you win golf, you win $100,000. There was like there was like 5 or 6 creators, and they're all guys. Their second
Mhm.
showdown they invited me to. It was basketball, and it was knockout. So 2 balls, like the person behind you shoots it and makes it before you're out. So I was
Yep.
the only girl. I was the only girl. And they had the showdown 2021 in March. So like we're in COVID. So we have masks on, we're being tested, all this stuff, right? I'm the only girl and I'm just like this little baby influencer, little YouTuber. I'm kind of like, how am I here? Supreme
Yep.
Dreams is Mark Phillips, we got Duke Dennis, we have MMG, we have all these big names, and I'm kind of like, how am I here? And it was for $100,000, and you had 3 lives, and I ended up winning the whole thing with all my lives. I beat all the boys. I got so much exposure that night. It was live streamed on YouTube, on House of Highlights YouTube, and I won 100K. Let's go, right?
What's not to love?
And so like right there, my parents are kind of like, whoa, this is actually kind of feasible. Because it's been very tough to express to them and make them understand that this is a
Right.
feasible career.
Right. Right.
Like all my siblings, they grew up and they did the conventional route. They got their college degree, they got their
Right.
wife and kids, and they have
Right.
their
They're like,
career.
what are you doing with your life? Right.
No, I'm just costing them money. I'm blowing out this ACL, blowing out this ACL, and then I'm a YouTuber, right? Like, what is Jenna
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah.
So, so yeah, like, and that kind of was like, all right, maybe this is for me. 6 months later, House of Highlights invites me again to their third showdown, and it's go-karting. And I'm one of 12 creators. I'm one of 2 girls, and that's for 100K as well. And I freaking won that thing too. I win another
Okay. Okay.
100K.
Yeah.
So, and what it was like both times I prepared myself. I was given $100,000 opportunity, and I'm not just going to show up and just wing it. So the
Mhm.
type of discipline and work ethic that I learned from sports and being in college and the repetitions, right? Like I took that into this opportunity that I got. So before I went to the knockout showdown, I went back in the gym that I had the keys to, you know, and I was on the
Yep.
shooting gun and I was shooting night after night. Same thing with go-karting. They told us where it was going to be. I took a trip out to my sister's 2 weekends in a row. It was 20 minutes away, and I learned the cart. I learned the track. I learned the pedal. I learned it, and I had the edge and the upper hand.
I'm saying like that's incredible. So as of
Thank you.
now, that little YouTuber, and again, I follow you primarily on Instagram, has 719,000 Instagram followers and counting. Among them, Steph Curry. So like, just for people that may not know, and like if you haven't already, and you're watching this or you listen to this, you're like, wait, and you don't already follow Jenna, it's Jenna Bandy 21 is her handle. It's like, all right, and it's just a few of them, okay? I've seen you cook Amon-Ra St. Brown. I've seen you golf with Reggie Bush. I've seen you take batting practice and hang out at the pool with the Diamondbacks. I've seen you work out with George Kittle. I've seen you at Stephon Diggs' celebrity basketball game. You've announced a draft pick at the 2022 draft, the NFL draft. What am I missing here? And of course, yeah, maybe your biggest claim to fame, you are still the Guinness World Record holder for the farthest female football throw into a target. And I saw you play catch with the aforementioned Steph Curry when you were at the Clippers game, throwing it from one baseline to the other. It's like, so I got a series of questions because I mean, and then that's just the celebrity stuff. Because whether it's bowling, whether it's basketball, whether it's throwing a baseball, hitting a baseball, tennis, pickleball, trick shots, challenges, I'm like, what can't Jenna do? So what can't you do?
Honestly, I'm down to try whatever, and any kind of ball sport I could pick up pretty easily. Like
You got to
golfing
be
is so,
ambidextrous.
but like I could Ginobili finish over the front of the rim, with the left.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
but I haven't tried any type of like extreme sports yet, and that's something I kind of want to tap into. Like I've never snowboarded before, I've never surfed, but any
Okay.
type of ball sport, I feel like I could pick up fairly quick. Yeah.
Um, what experience haven't you had yet that you're dying to do? Like I mentioned, like you're on everybody. It seems like you play in every celebrity or charity game. I mean, like like wherever it is. The month of February, I think you did NBA All Star, you did Super Bowl, you won a PGA Tour. It's
Oh
like
my
where's
gosh,
Waldo? Where's Jenna? Right?
that was a
What's
very
on your
busy.
to do list? What's
Wow,
on your to
that
do
was
list that you haven't gotten to yet?
my dream is to throw the football with Tom Brady. If I can catch a football
Who
from
commented
Tom,
on your throw? Who
he
commented on your
did,
throw?
man, but he
Yes.
won't comment back to me. Just like hit me back, man. Just let's throw it. Let's throw the rock and let's validate my hands. Just if I could catch a Tom Brady football, man, he did. He commented on it. He said, "So good" when I threw the ball into
Yeah.
the hoop.
But you
But
but you have picked off Michael Vick and you've caught passes from Brett Favre.
you did
Not
your
bad.
research.
Well, that's my superpower. I am not an athlete. See, one of the reasons I live vicariously through you is I can't do anything athletically. Like, okay, like I was a JV basketball player and a backup quarterback, and so like you talk about anything I can do, you can do better. Yes, absolutely, you can do everything better than I can when it comes to athleticism. So, but a researcher, I can do that. But so. I mentioned, what am I'm missing? Because I'm sure I'm missing something. Oh, and then there was the America's Got Talent Extreme Experience. What would you say to Simon now? He didn't give you any love on that. What would you say to him now?
I told him on stage, I said, "Simon, stop being a hater." It was hilarious. What do I say to him now? The thing is I was there on America's Got Talent to try to beat my own Guinness World Record. It was a win-win
Mm-hmm.
for me. If I beat my Guinness World Record, okay, sweet, I beat my own record. But if I don't, guess who still holds that record? Right here.
Right,
I
right,
hold
right.
it. You know what I mean? It's a win-win. I couldn't lose. I didn't beat my Guinness World Record there. And Simon was like, "This looks like me at the fairground" or something like that. It was hilarious. And
Yeah.
I still stayed in who I was. I talked mess back to him. I had a great time. It was a great experience.
Um, the Steph Curry experience, like he showed you mad love,
Oh man.
and
Man,
like
honestly,
like what was that like?
so prior to that, I would say one of my other biggest moments with meeting someone of Steph Curry's caliber was meeting Kobe Bryant. You know,
Hmm.
I
Now,
so
how'd you meet
that
Kobe?
so I'll talk about Kobe first. So
Yeah.
that was in 2019. I was playing at Mamba Sports Academy. That's
Hmm.
my hometown, Thousand Oaks. And so I'd go there, play pickup all the time. And my friend, we were just talking trash. He's like, just because Kobe Bryant follows you, blah, blah, blah. And I said, wait, what did you just say? He said, Kobe follows you. You didn't know that? I didn't know that Kobe followed me. So I checked, no way, Kobe Bryant follows me. So I've idolized Kobe all my life, right? It
Yeah.
was him
Yeah.
and Derek Jeter, right? And and so I reached out and I told them, "Hey, thank you for the follow." My friend told me I couldn't believe it. I've looked up to you all my life. I play at Mamba Sports Academy all the time. This is my home gym. In this league I play in, they call me the White Mamba. And they did. They called me the White Mamba in this women's league. And I said, I would love to meet you someday. He hits me back. He says, I know you're one hell of an athlete. I'm blown. Right? My mind's blown. He goes, I'll be at MSA, Mamba Sports Academy, tomorrow for this camp. And I'm like, what time? And he told me the time. I said, could I bring my friends? He goes, yeah. He gives me a little black thumbs up. I pull up with my friends. I pull up my friends. My friend's wearing some Kobe's. He's wearing a Mamba shirt. We're ready. We're ready, right? So we're on the bleachers. His assistant escorts us. We're waiting. And he's at the other side of the court coaching the camp, right? And he's
Mm.
walking. Now he's at half court, right? He's coming. He sees me. He's like, "What's up, athlete?" And I'm like, "Jenna, do not trip from these bleachers." And I'm just like, one step, two step. And he daps me up, gives me a hug, meets my friends, and he then we're then facing the court, right? And we're on the baseline and we're side to side talking. And it was just such Kobe thing, such a Kobe moment because we're talking, right? But he's still paying attention. And we're
Yeah.
talking about he's my daughter, Gigi. She looks up to you. We love what you're doing.
Wow.
I know, Michael. Like it, so we're talking, right? And he's just like, he's in awe over me. And here I am trying to puff my chest. This is Kobe Bryant. But as soon
Yeah.
as he's talking to you, he just makes you feel like, okay, you can relax. And he's making me feel like I'm the star when he's the
Right.
legend. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so
Yeah.
this is the
Yeah.
most Kobe thing he's doing. He's talking to me, right? He's locked in on me. And then he goes,
Right.
hey, what hand you're supposed to throw the ball with on that side? And the kid's like, my left. And he's like, that's right. And back to me,
And
back
then
to
back
just
to you.
pumping me up. And so we got a picture
Wow.
in. He was like, keep doing that trick shot. And he's like, keep repping the Mamba name. Right. So that was
Mm.
like, I was in awe over that, right? Then I'm hired by the fast forward, I'm hired by the Clippers.
But but wait a second
Go
before
ahead, go
before we
ahead,
get
go
to
ahead.
Kobe though. Before we get to Steph though, I'm sorry, because like even hearing that touches me, and you know, obviously that was your experience,
Yeah, man.
and but you tell a story so well. It's like I'll randomly just miss Kobe, and I never had an experience like that with him. It's like when you think about Kobe now, you know, now that he's no longer with us, like how do you feel? What do you think?
Man, I mean, I remember I just go back to that day, like meeting him and how, like exactly how he made me feel, and that's what he was doing in his retirement. He was putting women on. He was giving us flowers where they were due, and I just know that if he was still here, the women's game would already been further along. All his series of books, that he was doing, like it's a tragedy. And yeah, like I
Yeah,
just think of him and we all feel that. It's like a little missing piece in us,
yeah,
even if you haven't met him, but he had an impact on everybody.
definitely,
I
definitely.
have a little Kobe tribute right over here. I have the picture with me and him and my friends. and his book right there.
That's awesome. Okay. So you're about to fast forward to you get hired by the
Forward.
Clippers. So wait, why'd the Clippers hire you to do what?
Yeah, so it's Super Bowl Sunday. February is, everyone's doing some type of football stuff, and this guy
What
from
year
the
is
Clippers,
this?
this is shucks. I did it 2 times, so
Okay.
it might have been. I think it was 2021. I think it was
Okay.
2021. It might have been 2022.
Okay.
Crud.
I imagine for you, Jenna, a lot is a blur. So okay, I'm not gonna hold you to that. All right. So let's say it's 2021-ish. All right, go ahead. So Clippers hiring you.
So the Clippers hire me to try to beat my Guinness World Record. My Guinness World
Okay.
Record, farthest football throw into a target. So I threw a football into a basketball hoop, 10 feet, right? 10-foot
Yep.
basketball hoop.
Yep.
I threw it 90 feet, right? So a full court NBA court is 94 feet.
Yep.
And if I can hit it from the NBA court, that means I'm beating my own record. So Super Bowl Sunday just happened. It's now Monday. So football's still relevant. And they think it'd be exciting during a timeout that I would have 10 throws to try to beat my Guinness World Record. Right. So I'm really, as you know, like I grew up a Lakers fan, but hey, I'm repping the Clippers today. They gave me a little chance to do this, right? I'm repping
Right.
Clippers.
It's business. I feel you.
But so they said you could do it before the Super Bowl or after the Super Bowl. I looked at the schedule and I was like, oh, yep, I'm doing it Monday because they play the Warriors. And I know Steph Curry follows me and I've never met him before. So like, it would just be great to be there. Maybe I get to meet Steph, right? But this is the challenge. Like I'm wearing a Clippers shirt, Clippers, right? And I'm there. And I'm on the court during warmups, and I have the football in my hand, and Steph Curry and the Warriors are warming up on their side. I'm on the Clipper side, but I'm at half court. I'm at half court on the half court line, on the sideline, just on the Clipper side. But I'm locked in watching Steph. I mean, everyone watches Steph's warmups. It's incredible, right?
Yeah. It's a show unto itself.
I know he saw me. I saw him shoot the ball and he like looked over and I saw him say like, oh, that's Bandy, right? But he's not going to come over in the middle of warmups. I'm not going to walk over there and be unprofessional.
You saw him say that's Bandy?
Yeah. Because like what other little white blonde girl is holding a football? He follows me. He has to know it. Like it can't be nobody else but me.
But he didn't say, oh, that's old girl or that's your girl. He said that's Bandy. Damn.
Yeah. and so I'm like, oh, I know he saw me. He saw me. Like, all right. So I'm just still watching him. Now he's on the same sideline as me. He's down the line though, in the corner shooting threes. I'm on the same sideline at half court. I'm just watching him and I'm just like throwing the football back to myself. Right. And you see Steph, he shoots the three and then he goes like this. Like gestures to catch the ball. And I'm like, me? And he's like, yeah, roll it. Like I can't hear him. So he's just
right.
He's just like,
right.
Roll it. And this is in the middle of warmups. He's getting ready to play a NBA basketball game and he's gesturing to me to throw the football. And I turned to the Clippers guy that was like my guy for the day. I have to follow him. I'm with him all day.
Yeah. Yellow escort. Yeah.
Can I throw the ball to Steph Curry? He's like, yeah, give me your phone. I give him my phone and I throw a dot to Steph. And this is the best thing ever. He drops it. And in my head, as a creator, I'm thinking this is the best thing ever because you know why? As a competitor, he's not going to want to just drop it and that's it. He's going to want that ball back, baby.
You're going to extend this moment. Yeah.
Exactly. So he drops it because he was being cute with it. He was trying to be cute, like catch it as he's inbounds, he drops it. Now, and everyone just like, for a second, they just saw football. So now everyone's phones are out. He throws the football back to me. And at this moment, I caught it, and I'm like, oh, everyone's gonna see this face. So I take my mask off because I had to wear a mask. And so I throw it to him again. He catches it. He does his little touchdown, like Euro step, and starts running
Yeah.
into the tunnel. And I'm
Yep.
like, oh, he took my ball, but who cares? He took
Yeah.
my ball.
All yours.
And I'm like, this is amazing. And then next thing you know, he just turns and wings it. And I was just like looking over there in the tunnel. The tunnel goes downward, and people, you can't see it. You can't see him anymore. It goes downward. And all I saw was a freaking ball pop out of nowhere. And it's going to the opposite sideline. And I just dropped the trailer and I turned it on. And I
the instincts kicked in.
Ran over anyone, a grandma, I don't care. I am catching this ball. I freaking caught it. I caught it like at half court now, like center court. It was taking me to the other sideline. I caught it. I held it up. And I am just like, man, he just created this moment for me, like the best moment ever as a creator, a sports creator. It was so much more than just like, oh, hey, Jenna, let's get a pick. Dope. He created a moment for me, and it was so impromptu, right? So I'm like walking from that sideline to my sideline, and I'm like, did you get that? And he's like, I got it. And I'm starting to well up because I'm like, this was amazing, This big guy in a blue Warriors polo comes up to me and he's like, come with me. And I'm like, crap, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
He walks me down the tunnel, and Steph Curry is waiting for me. He's waiting for me. And he's like, what's up, Jenna? Like, what are you doing here? Why are you ripping Clippers? I told him I'm trying to beat my Guinness World Record. He's like, oh, well, go get it done. And he's just like, I love what you're doing. And I'm like, another moment where someone is giving me their flowers. I'm like, you've changed the game, man. Like what you've done. I'm like, I'm probably talking 100 miles an hour,
Right.
But we got a little picture in. And then during the halftime, I went and just missed all 10, but I didn't even care. I got my moment.
Matter. Yeah. And you still have the record. Man. And you still have the record. Like you said, it's a win-win. Like so
it's
what?
So hard.
So what?
It's so hard. It's an NFL-sized ball, and I can't bank it in. It's got to go straight in, And it's 10 feet up. So I might be throwing it 30 yards to get it in, but really I'm throwing it even farther because it's 10 feet high. It's really hard. It's really hard.
So that's amazing. And if I'm not mistaken, at that same game, is that the one where Floyd Mayweather was there and he gave you props? And later, at a certain point, you played in Floyd Mayweather's celebrity game, won MVP, and Happy Meals for life, right? Did I get that right?
You got it, man. It was actually, I played in Floyd Mayweather's celebrity basketball game literally a few days before that game. So I had met Floyd.
So y'all were old friends by that point.
Yeah, it was because we were in Vegas for the Pro Bowl. We were in Vegas for the Pro Bowl, and all the Pro Bowlers are out there, and they get invited to play in this basketball game. And it's Floyd's basketball game. I'm on the opposite team as Floyd, and I went crazy. That's where I met the brothers, and then later got invited to play in their charity game, right? So I'm on the Diggs brothers.
The Diggs brothers. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, Stephon and Trayvon Diggs, right?
Yep.
And they're feeding me the ball because I'm knocking down, and I just went crazy that game, and Floyd like gave me his props, right? And then next thing you know, I'm at the Clippers game throwing my thing. I missed them all, but Floyd was literally right there, and he's like, good throw, like you're doing great.
So, like, I remember, because again, I was sleeping on Jenna Bandy, like, when I met you a year ago. And it's like, I wonder, because I'm telling you, like, for people that don't know, you can do everything well, like knockdown jumper, handles, throw a football, catch a football, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you remind me of, you ever seen that interview? One of the greatest interviews I've ever seen, honestly, the Anthony Edwards interview. And he's like, whatever, A1, day one. You know what I'm talking about? You ever seen that interview?
No, like, I know.
Oh,
not
that's
that moment.
you. He's like whatever it is. And like the interview is asking him about all the sports he played growing up. He's like, whatever you need me to do, whatever it is, be clean up on aisle 3. Like baseball, I'll bat cleanup. Straight clean up aisle 3. You gotta see this interview. It's incredible. But that
Oh my
reminds me of you. It's like
God.
you could do like whatever it is that needs to be done athletically, you could do it. How often are people, even at this point where you're a celebrity, like, are they shocked when they see this girl come in and like is the best player on the field or the best player on the court, and just like what's the reaction that you get, especially from some of these professionals?
You know, it's funny because I'm I'm deceiving looking in a way, like people don't expect that from someone that looks like me and is as smiley and very personable and friendly as me. I don't act like I'm like this, like I talk trash, right? But like people are always surprised. And it never gets old, honestly, to show that
Hmm.
like you can do both. You can be girly
Get you
and
somebody who could do both.
get you someone who could do both, and I've really like I found my niche, and I pride myself on the fact that like I didn't just stay in one lane of just doing
Hmm.
basketball, because that's kind of what I started with, was just doing basketball content, but I found my uniqueness and showing that I could do it all.
Mm.
And
I
and
like
that's
that.
what I try to, my own little strategy on my social platforms. I try to not post the same sport right after the next. Not You're not going to really
Interesting.
see basketball video after another basketball video after another basketball video, you know?
Mm. Where do you come up
So,
with the ideas? Speaking of that strategy, like, do you just like lay in bed at night and say, you know what, today I'm gonna play pickleball, or today I'm gonna do a obstacle course. Like, how do these ideas for content come about?
you know, because I have been around it now since 2019, and I surrounded myself with a group of influencers that have been doing it longer than me. So, and like even the Guinness World Record, like the guy that put me on, he already had 17 Guinness World Records. Josh Horton,
Hmm.
he moved into my hometown. He started inviting me to be on his channel. So, like being around other creators, you start to see how they think, start to see how they're creative, and
Hmm.
so being around that and just seeing how seeing what other videos do well, you just start learning and you just start grabbing, and I'm like, oh, okay, I could take that and put it here, but I could use it with this sport, and then just like leveling up
Yeah.
yourself. Like, what haven't I
Yeah.
done? Like soon you'll see, I've caught a football before against guys and on land. Y'all haven't seen me catch a football while I'm on a jet ski though. You'll see that soon.
Hey, Tom Brady, you got time. Tom Brady, hit up Jenna, okay? Like is anybody else, while we doing this, let's manifest some stuff. Is there anybody else or anything else on your sports content bucket list that we need that somebody we need to get their attention, or something we need to do?
LeBron. I mean, I would love that. LeBron, Brady.
Yeah.
Brady and Bandy
Yeah.
just goes hand in hand.
Kind of
Brady,
it
the
really does have
video.
a ring to it. Now,
You
now
know
that
what's
you
funny
mention
is
it.
someone in an interview was like, Jenna Brady, blah blah blah. And I was like, it's Bandy, but I throw like Brady, so I'll take it.
There you go. There you go. You spoke at an NIL summit, the NIL summit this summer. What was your message?
Yeah. So, NIL, college kids can get paid. And that is just amazing. And when I was in college, I was not around. So I was able to give my experience as a creator, and and just kind of helping them with, you kind of have to go along with the trends when it comes to social media, because the trends are what may give you the views, right? However, it's about standing out in those trends. And that's
Hmm.
what I have done very well, right? So like I know how to be authentic to myself, and I've created a lane for myself. So just kind of giving my experience and talking about how like, hey, you're starting, you do not have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. So right now, as a little infant, as an influencer, just post. Don't be so
Mm,
critical of it. It's about the
mm,
quantity. It's about the quantity right now than it is about the
mm,
quality. Just
mm,
get your footage out. Post, post, post. Find out what hits because you'll be posting. Maybe you post a
mm,
little commentary clip here. Maybe you post your on the field here. Maybe you post with your family. Maybe you post about this something else that you're passionate about. Oh, that one hits. Now stick to that and just keep repeating. Double down on what worked. And so like these things they're like learning and they're picking my brain
yeah.
and I feel really great to share and to try to help and pay it forward, because I was there. And even just their feeling of, do I really want to be an influence? Do I really want to market myself? And I think if you don't at this point, if you're an athlete, a celebrity, any type of name, honestly, I wouldn't even say if you're a person, like a of stature. I would say that everybody in the world today should use social media because one day your main job, your career might be over. Like what these
Mm,
professional athletes are doing, if you're not taking advantage of the platform that you have on social media, you're really missing out because let's say baseball or basketball is not going to be there forever. But
yeah.
the name that you are right now, right? Let's say I'm a professional baseball player. If I'm on my social media, I'm talking about, oh, I love real estate. I could get in the doors of real estate because of who I am as a baseball player, right?
Right.
I could get, right? But if I don't do that and I have a season ending injury, now what do I do? My main job's done. I didn't try to make a name for myself anywhere else. Now what is left? You have to set
You
yourself up for success.
you preaching like I'm gonna need you to help me with my social media game. I don't social media very well at all. It's a weakness in my game. Yeah, I got to step it up. I need your help. I have to. I got to talk to you. Flair runs in your family, literally. I have to talk to you about your dad. Your dad, John, is he's called the grandfather of Flair bartending. So long before you were born, I remember the movie Cocktail, 1988, Tom Cruise,
Wow.
Cocktail. Yeah, I remember. Of course, I remember that movie. See, like me and your dad we'd probably be buddies. Your dad invented the Flair bartending, right?
Yes.
That Tom
Yes.
Cruise performed in the movie Cocktail. Like what
Yes.
kind of you got stories for days. What kind of stories does your dad have specifically about Tom Cruise and Cocktail?
My dad, he's from Detroit, Michigan. He would bartend and it was boring for him. Same stuff, mix a drink, do that. So he just started something out of boredom where he would
Mm-hmm.
just take the bottle and flip it and do this and that and take a napkin and slide it across the bar and put a toothpick in, throw the olive up and catch it. Like it comes to like that coordination that I have, that's my dad. That's my
Yeah,
dad. So
yeah.
he created Flair bartending and he was approached to be Tom Cruise's trainer for the movie Cocktail and all the all the Flair bartending routines, that's my dad,
Yeah.
and yeah, and he still got it till this day. He doesn't do that anymore. He doesn't bartend, but like he could pick it up and he could twirl it at any moment.
Well, here's the question, and I started with this question. I'll end with this question. What can't Jenna do? Can you Flair bartend as well?
I have made a YouTube video with my dad
Okay.
showing the routine. And it was me, my mom, and my twin brother. And we were like, who could do it the best? And I did it the best.
Of course you
So
did. Of
I could
course you
do it a
did. I
little.
was like, oh my gosh. I was like, maybe she hasn't bartended yet because she's so busy doing everything else. Oh, actually, last question. I also saw you try you were on the Women's Sports Network as a host. You mentioned
Yes.
not pursuing that communications journalism path. How'd that feel? And is it still something like could we be colleagues one day?
I love that. I always kind of like I said, it was a process for me to really take pride in being an influencer, content creator, YouTuber, right? And I
Yeah.
kind of saw maybe this is the stepping stone to my adult job, to my reporting job, right? So I got the taste of it. I was going to a studio um, twice, sometimes 3 times a week. And I would be the host and I'm reporting and I'm reading from a prompter, trying to make it look like I'm not reading from a prompter.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was cool. And then I started to kind of like, you guys are holding me back. I can't
Wow.
fully be my unapologetic, authentic self, you know? And I'm like, I'm still young enough and I still have all this inside me and talent to give and to show. This isn't the right time for me. However, I love being part of a all women sports network.
Yeah.
And that's where, you know, and I have created my own brand that is a women's
Yep.
empowerment brand that I'm
Yep.
super passionate about. And that's where I'm going to, you know, pay it forward in the realm
Yep.
of female empowerment. And that's something like it was 2021. I was with a brand in New York City and it was playing strangers one-on-one at West Fourth in the cage. And it's all guys trying to beat me one-on-one. If you beat me, games are to five points. If you beat me, you get to win tickets to Madison Square Garden that night. So people are
Yep.
going in on me. This little girl comes. She's the only little girl. She's like 7 years old. And she approaches me and I'm like, I was like, what's your name? She's like, I'm Sophia. And she goes, I go, hi, Sophia. I'm Jenna Bandy. And she cuts me off. And she's like, I know who you are. I watch all your videos. And it was that
That's
moment
cool.
for me.
That's
It was
cool.
that moment for me. I was like, I'm in a male dominated world, sports, right? But I'm like, I need to do something for the women. And that's where I was like, I have to give back in a way and really put the influence in the term influencer, right? Yeah, I'm influencing, being impressive and doing both and that, but what am I directly influencing? So that's what I came up with the brand Game Changer, and it's spelled game
Game change
her,
her. Yep.
her, HER at the end. So the emphasis on the female, and it's all about being fearlessly authentic, disrupting the status quo, and to change the game in whatever passion you choose as a woman. It could be medicine, law, education, sports, whatever it is. And I just have this is my passion project, man. Don't get me started on this, man.
You got it. Keep going. You got it. You got it. No, I can see it. I've seen the work you're doing, and you are just getting started. I'm really. It was great to meet you. I think we were both pulling off in the parking lot, and I was like, "Nice to meet you." And you gave me your Instagram handle. I'm like, "Wait a minute! Like hold on, this is a superstar I was just in the midst of." Because I couldn't believe how you talk about dominating. You were kicking everybody's ass at that celebrity game. I've enjoyed your content, but I've enjoyed talking to you because I'm really, like many people, inspired just at your story and how you forged your own path and created your own lane and how you just enjoying what you're doing. That's everybody's aspiration, right? It's just to enjoy what they're doing and to make a living off of it at the same time. Amazing. I'll work on getting you Tom Brady as a token of thanks for coming on my main man Michael Smith.
Hey, all the help I can use, man.
You're right. You
Thank
well
you.
on your way. I appreciate it, Jenna. Take care and
Thank
keep
you so
crushing it.
much. Truly, this is so amazing. Thank you so much for having you on. Michael, keep doing your thing, man.
Thank you. Let's do it again sometime. Hey, thanks so much for kicking it with your main man Michael Smith. Be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, but also subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Rate it, review it, tell your friends about it. Oh, and be sure to follow me on social media.